What you doing?
Honey, I'm just looking for food. Chippy, come on.
The food is not good here? It's not good enough, the fruits?
I don't know, but it just doesn't hit the spot. I'm like constantly like...
Banana's not good anymore for Mrs.
Oh, don't tell me about bananas. I think I'm gonna have an avo now. It's
Honey,
the early morning.
We're gonna make a video. We're not gonna eat avos now.
Okay, can we have an avo right after the video?
Yes, if you want to.
Okay, hello there. Well, today we have Chippy in the video because it's Saturday, so I got him in front of the camera. And what I want to talk about today is directly connected with our food situation right now, which is not good at all.
No.
What is it that we have to eat today?
Actually, first I want to welcome all you guys, the new guys who subscribe
New
to
subscribers to
our
our channel. Hello, we love you. Thank you for all the love.
Epic, epic. And that was actually the mission of our whole channel, right? To have new subscribers, to inspire new people.
Yeah, to get the fruity message out there as much as possible.
Yeah, man. So if you're watching this, eat your fruits, man.
That's right. But what I want to talk about is one of those days like today where all we have left to eat is bananas, oranges, one avocado, and a few dates. And what I want to talk about is it possible to thrive on a fruit-only diet in cold climates? And bear in mind, this is September in Europe, right? This is not even the middle of the winter. Yeah. And to give you a bit of a background.
Yeah, so we've been in the tropics for about a year, in Southeast Asia mainly. And we've come back because my money ran out, I was broke.
And we wanted to see our family as well.
We wanted to see our family as well. And so we had a plan to come back for 4 months. Right? Actually, we shouldn't tell that yet, but anyway.
Anyway, the plan was to come back to Europe for 4 months, to get our finances together, to hang out with our family, and then go back to the tropics. Yeah. And initially we were thinking, you know, these 4 months in Europe, they're going to be a breeze. They're going to be so much epic shit to eat, like, you know, cherries and figs and all the berries. But what actually happened is that we noticed, we are at the end of these 4 months now, that the best fruits we ate were actually tropical fruits. I mean, if you look at the best fruits we've eaten...
It's true, yeah. Mexican mangoes.
Mexican mangoes. Let's show them in a side video.
Okay.
Okay, Mexican mangoes. Bari dates.
Bari dates.
Pakistani mangoes.
Yeah, man.
French figs.
French figs. That was not tropical, but that was actually the only thing we found that was more local. That was actually very good.
And also something...
I mean, I've eaten Spanish cherimoyas last year and they were epic. But we can't find them.
Not a single cherimoya.
I mean, the cherimoya season definitely started already in Spain, but they just don't export them right now because there's not enough of them yet, right? So these cherimoyas, I found them 1 week and then the other week there was nothing. And we had the same experience right with the other ones, right? Yeah. Like the Mexican mangoes, we found them 1 week.
We bought 200 of them and then they completely disappeared.
Yeah, they disappeared. The next week, we had to eat only bananas.
Yeah.
And then the week after, we had an abundance of figs.
So, and then they disappeared.
And then they disappeared again. So it's really
very volatile, right?
Volatile,
1 week you have all these fruits and then they completely disappear the next fruits. So we did have some great fruits, like the mangoes, the figs, and the berry dates, right?
And we did have a huge variety as well.
And then we had a huge variety. We tried every fruit we could get our hands on, right? We went to the Brussels market, which is one of the biggest markets in Europe because, you know, that's where the ships hit the port with all the tropical fruits. We went to Lidl, we went to Aldi, we went to Carrefour, you know, all the shops that could possibly... We went to Pakistani and Asian stores as well, like specialty stores. And I have to say that except for the few fruits we just mentioned, most of the fruit we ate here in Europe, the tropical fruits, the imported tropical produce, was completely unattractive.
That's true.
It was not sweet, it was not tasty, it wasn't good, and it wasn't nutritious. It didn't have like a complex taste, like, you know, organic produce we pick from the tree in Asia. And it also was the worst thing ever. Because it was not sweet, it didn't have any calories. So we could eat a whole meal of mangoes and be completely starving within the next 2 hours.
If they were not top quality. And we had many weeks of that where they were like slightly under top quality.
Like 6 out of 10.
Doubtable, 6 out of 10
Like where you don't know whether you want to eat them, but you're still eating them because they're better than bananas.
Because there's nothing else as well.
So a lot of the meals we had here left me with completely no satisfaction at the end of the meal. And I want to talk about why is that? Why is it that the tropical produce that gets to us is not good?
Well, first of all, let's talk about the local produce. The local produce is not good because it's not the climate for them to grow in. We're not, and actually it is the climate for them to grow in, but we are not meant to be in this climate. We are not thriving in this climate, and we are not meant to eat the fruits in this climate. So
absolutely. So I've seen challenges because people usually also ask us on our Instagram, why don't we eat the local fruits like the plums, the berries, the blueberries, the raspberries, the strawberries, the pears? And my experience with these fruits is like I can eat a bucket of blueberries as a challenge like Fully Raw Christina, but I cannot eat a bucket of strawberries for every meal. They're not calorie dense enough to stay on the fruitarian diet. There's no way I can meet 1,000 calories a day, and I need far more than 1,000 calories if I just eat berries. I mean, if you're just eating a few raspberries as a snack after your dinner of pasta or pizza, whatever, you don't care if they're sweet or not, you don't care if they're calorie dense, right? But if you have to make do with just fruit, you have to be focusing on calorie-rich fruits. And with a few exceptions of, for example, figs, the temperate climate fruits are not sweet enough and they're not calorie dense enough to live exclusively on them.
That's true. So the local fruits for us are a no-go.
Because not enough calories.
I mean, the figs, they probably add enough calories if we let them like fully develop, right? But the thing is, they're like 10 euros for 5 figs.
Yeah.
So it's never possible to really monomeal
so short.
And the season is very short.
Right?
So it's just not possible. You have to know. We're in summer here.
I don't even want to know what
it does look like winter, right? It does look like winter and it feels like winter and the fruits are crap like in winter. But it is summer, so the most abundant period in Europe for fruits. I must say, you know, it's just not enough.
Not enough
calories. And the thing is, if you want to be satisfied on a meal, you have to have 2 things. The first thing is a satisfaction of calories, which we don't have because the fruits are not sweet enough, they're picked unripe, they're transported for months. They actually, if they transport bananas from Colombia, for example, they spray the green bananas with a gas so that they don't ripen. And when they arrive here, they spray them with a different gas so that they will ripen.
Yeah.
So it's completely ridiculous because these fruits have not been developed on the tree like they're supposed to, so they don't have the nutrient density in them.
That's why they don't have the taste.
So the first thing is calories you have to be satisfied on a meal, so we don't have those. And the second thing is nutrients. It's actually vitamins and minerals, and your body knows this. If you eat, for example, hundreds of bananas here, you're gonna be okay on the calories, but you're not gonna be okay on the nutrients in it. So your body is still gonna feel not satisfied enough, you know, you're gonna be happy because you have glycogen enough in your brain.
But you're not gonna be high.
You're not gonna be high.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna be satisfied. You're gonna be like, yeah, okay, I ate enough, but it wasn't nice to eat it. You know, if I eat a monomeal of bananas here, luckily I found out where the best bananas are.
Lidl.
It's in Lidl, by the way, in Belgium. But you know, you're always like, another banana, like I'm eating bite by bite, like with struggle. And that is mainly because we know what's out there, right?
Yeah.
It's because we're a little spoiled. We're very spoiled, actually. But you know, I ate only bananas when I was here. The first year I was fruitarian and I was going to college every day and it was very stressful. During the exams I did all-nighters where I drank 15 banana smoothies during the night just to have energy enough. And I had energy enough for 2 days or 3 days even without sleeping. And the thing is, I was in this honeymoon period, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like a period. You explain them.
Well, this also happened to me. The first time I went fruitarian, I felt so energized and so high because of the things I wasn't eating. Like my body wasn't burdened with cooked food, wasn't burdened with cheese, wasn't burdened with, you know, alcohol. So I felt epic, right? So just eating bananas was enough for me because I felt so high, you know, and so clear in the head. But nowadays, now that I know what fruit is supposed to taste like, because we've had, you know, off the tree durians, off the tree champidax, off the tree papaya and coconuts in Asia. When I eat these bananas here, my first instinct is to put that banana away and look for something better. That's why nowadays I find it very hard to eat these very, very average Cavendish bananas, even if it's all I have. Because I know I'm not going to feel as good as I could if I had great produce. So you cannot go back to the honeymoon period. Once you've experienced good fruit, you cannot go and do 2 winters of bananas. I did 2 winters, and winters in Poland are 7 months long, where I ate 99% bananas for 2 winters. That's 7 months, 2 years in a row. And there's no way I could do that. Okay.
So what is
the conclusion? Can you make it in a cold climate? Well, first of all, let's put it this way. You can eat just fruits in a cold climate, but it's
actually
not...
that's a big one, honey. We cannot go over this too fast. The huge thing that we want to say here, and if you made it up until here, I know you guys like drama, right? And like negativity and stuff like that. That's what drives the views. But this is it. If you made it until here in the video, listen very carefully. You can make it as a fruitarian in Europe. And the reason why I say that is because we done it ourselves. And if we would have never gone fruitarian in Europe, we would have never had a reason to go to find the epic fruits in Southeast Asia. So if you look at this video and you want to go raw, for example, or you want to go fruitarian, this is your clue. Do it in Belgium, or do it in Europe, or in America, or do it in Canada, and focus on the bananas.
Absolutely.
That's the main thing. Focus on the bananas. The bananas is the only thing that is going to get you carved up enough. Even in summer, it's hard to get carbs somewhere else. We have not focused on the bananas in the last months here in Belgium because we've gone to markets where we bought super expensive produce.
Absolutely.
So, because we don't care about this, we want health, we want to feel good, and we don't care about the money that's attached to it. I know a lot of you people can probably not afford a fruitarian lifestyle, but if you can dumpster dive bananas, which is very possible in Europe, or if you can only buy bananas, it's about €1 for a kilo, which is even, I don't know, probably cheaper than rice, although not cheaper than rice, but it's going to be same price, right? So can you be fruitarian in cold climate? Yes.
Absolutely.
You can. But first of all, it's not going to be pleasurable. Second of all, it's over the long term, it's not gonna give you enough satisfaction.
No,
and
you're gonna feel deprived.
And you're gonna feel deprived of nutrients. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Of calories, that's debatable.
You can get the calories.
You can get the calories, but who wants to eat like every day,
it's
every
just like
single
pure
meal
sugar.
bananas?
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's terrible, right? It's not what the fruitarian lifestyle is about. In Asia, it's beautiful. You have overabundance. You have so many.
In Asia, it's so easy to.
It's incredible. And then the third thing, you're gonna ruin your budget if you do it here.
Absolutely. If you go seeking the best fruits like we are, like
the last months, we have to be real in this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The cheapest month we had was when we just ate bananas in Poland, because there's no other fruits in Poland that are calorie.
Cheaper than in Asia.
We were at €250 a month for fruit for one person, and the months where we splurged on imported mangoes,
like the last 2-3 months
in Belgium, right?
You know, we really want to be real about this, because there's a lot of people who ask us, how do you get the money, and like how can you sustain this lifestyle, right? Because it's so expensive, and it is.
It is.
It is. So if you want to eat fruitarian like we eat in Europe, I would count for €400 a month.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is a lot. Which is
for one
really
person.
a lot. It's way more than in Asia. In Asia, you pay €150 for the whole month. And you can eat the whole mandarin if you want even. So.
Okay, I also want to give you a few other staples, right, other than bananas, and that is orange juice is a great one to start the day with. You can get a lot of orange juice varieties over the year, imported from all over the world. Also dates, if you can get a box of standard dates like medjool dates or bar dates like we have right now, that's epic. And avocado, if at dinner time, if you have that kind of craving for something heavier, like for example, if you're sharing a table with cooked fooders, right, and you don't want to be eating bananas, like having like an avocado or avocado mixed with tomato can, like, you know, curb that craving for something more dinner-like.
Okay.
Okay.
So to wrap it up, there's actually 2 conclusions in this video, right? The first one is, can you be fruitarian in cold climates? Yes. Do you have to be? Yes. Because otherwise you'll never know that you actually want to go to Southeast Asia to get these epic fruits.
It's a good place to start.
So you have to start there. There's no other way. You cannot go to Asia and say, okay, now I'm in Asia, now I can be fruitarian.
No, because you'll still be tempted by the cooked food.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Just go fruitarian in the hardest conditions actually, because then it's only gonna get better and better.
And then over time, you will have this desire to discover the most epic fruits on the planet. And like both of us, you will be drawn. There'll be something inside you calling to get to the source of the very best fruit, the tropics.
Yeah.
And it's not only about the fruit, because in the tropics you have, first of all, the best fruits straight off the tree, right? All year round fruits. Then you have the sun, and we all know we need at least 7 hours of sun exposure to have our hormonal system functioning right. You want to be warm because you want to wear as little clothes as possible. The more clothes you eat, the more clothes you wear, right? The more barriers there is between you and nature. So you want to be wearing as little clothes as possible. And then the big one, you want to be barefoot. Like you guys know that we are barefooters, right? But this barefoot experiment only worked for us until beginning of September. Like a couple of weeks ago, it got so cold that I refused to go barefoot because I came back from these 1 hour walks in the forest with my feet completely frozen, and I had to be in the shower, like spraying hot water. So you can't even ground yourself.
It gets to the end of September, and if I go to work in the morning, my hands are like really freezing to my bike. You know, it's crazy. It's so cold, man.
And then the freshwater reservoirs like Rivers Lake and the sea here is also too cold, so you can't ground yourself this way. So the tropics has this, you know, beautiful package for me, right? And also, not to mention that many countries in the tropics, the living costs are far, far lower than living in first world countries like the US, Canada, or for example, Belgium, right?
I worked for 3 months in Belgium, and I can spend probably a year in the tropics.
Yeah.
So
that is the,
you know, if you really want to do it, you can do it. Just do it. Don't like think about it and like.
Don't say as soon as I have this much money, or as soon as I'm this, then I'm gonna go.
Right, next
week. Just go.
Next week. Oh fuck! I told it again, man.
Honey, okay, shut up. You can't tell that everything.
Next week.
Next week. Don't tell anyone, right?
Okay, that was it, right?
That was it.
Eat your fruits.
Eat your fruits, and you have to come to the tropics, especially in winter time. You know we have a durian retreat, right? In February in Bali.
Sneaky advertising.
No, I just want to tell you where the good fruit is. It's in February. February, Bali is like the best place.
Yeah, man.
Okay, I'm going to finish it at that. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Let us know if you like the videos where we talk for each other.
Comment under
or
the
if
video.
you just like when I talk.
Like it, you know.
Subscribe. Get some fruit. Ciao.
How are you doing?
I can't stand still, man. I just had OJ.
A little to the left.
To the
other
left.
left.
To the left. Dude, that's the right.
The other left.
To the right. To the right.
Not so much. Okay, that's good. A little more to the left.
To the left, to the left. Out to the right, to the right. Everybody go to the left, to the left. In my shadow, ain't no problem. I am going, To the left, to the left. It was a Beyonce song.
Oh. Okay. To the back, to the back.
To the back, to the back. Everybody go to the back, to the back.
To the back.
Dude, there's a table behind me.
Wait. Okay, then I have to move it a little.